Welcome back to episode 10 of the History of AI. This is a big one, folks. Today we're on the road to artificial general intelligence, or AGI. And the question on everyone's mind is just, how close are we? You've shared a fantastic article that really dives into the latest on this, so let's unpack it together.
It is a fascinating time to be looking at this. I mean, the idea of machines that can think like us, learn like us, even surpass us, it's the stuff of science fiction. But the reality is, it's not as far-fetched as it used to seem.
Exactly. I mean, we've got AI writing code, passing legal exams, even mastering diplomacy like we're seeing with Cicero. It almost feels like we're on the cusp of something huge. So to understand where we're headed, it's helpful to define what we mean by AGI and how it differs from the AI we see all around us today.
Absolutely. Think of it this way. The AI we have now, like ChatGPT, is incredible at specific tasks. It's like a savant, a master of one domain. But AGI, that's a different beast altogether. That's like a polymath, a Renaissance person, capable of learning and applying knowledge across any field. It's the difference between a calculator and a human brain.
So today's AI is the specialist. AGI is the ultimate generalist. And then, of course, there's that next level, artificial superintelligence, or ASI. That's where things get really mind-bending, the idea of AI exceeding human intelligence in every way. But let's stick with AGI for now. What are some of the recent breakthroughs that are fueling this hope that we're actually getting closer to this holy grail of AI?
Well, some of the recent developments are genuinely remarkable. Take GPT-4, for example. This model from OpenAI scored in the 90th percentile on the bar exam, showing impressive skills in legal reasoning, and even showed a remarkable ability to debug code. But here's the curious thing. While it can ace these complex tasks, it still struggles with basic logic puzzles that a child could solve.
That is interesting. It seems like it's excelling in very specific areas.
Sure.
But that broader understanding is still missing. Kind of highlights the complexity of what we're dealing with here. What are some other examples that point towards AGI potential?
Well, we're also seeing amazing things with Google's PaLM-2 model. It's demonstrating a much deeper understanding of nuanced language and can even answer questions that require a degree of common sense, something that's been a major stumbling block for AI in the past.
So even if it can't solve those logic puzzles, it's showing progress in the area of common sense reasoning. That's a big step.
It definitely is. And then you've got DeepMind's AlphaDev. It actually managed to discover faster sorting algorithms, something that human programmers have been working on for decades. This suggests that AGI could unlock efficiencies we haven't even imagined, potentially revolutionizing fields from logistics to finance. And let's not forget RoboCat. It's been learning new tasks with incredible speed, adapting to new situations in a way we haven't seen before.
Wow, AI that can write laws, crack codes, and even come up with more efficient ways of doing things. That's pretty mind-blowing. But as you hinted at earlier, there are still some major hurdles to overcome.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest challenges standing between us and true AGI?
Well, that common sense gap we talked about earlier is a big one. AI still struggles with things that seem incredibly basic to humans. For instance, imagine asking an AI, if I pour water from a bottle into a glass, then put the bottle in the freezer, where's the water? It might very well say the water is in the freezer. It's missing that fundamental understanding of the physical world that humans develop as children.
That's a great example. It's like AI lacks that intuitive grasp of how the world works.
Yeah.
So even with all these advancements, it seems there's still a long way to go in terms of replicating that human-like understanding. What else is holding us back?
Another hurdle is what we call transfer learning. Humans are great at applying knowledge learned in one area to a completely different situation. We learn to ride a bike, and then we can figure out how to ski, using similar principles of balance and coordination. But AI still struggles with this. It can master one task, but applying that knowledge to something new is a whole different ballgame.
It's like each skill is siloed within the AI. Rather than being part of a larger network of understanding, that does seem like a pretty significant roadblock on the path to AGI. Are there other challenges?
Yes. There's the question of self-awareness and goals. True AGI would require some level of intrinsic motivation, curiosity, a sense of purpose. Think about it. Humans are driven by a desire to learn, to explore, to understand the world around them. Current AI simply follows instructions. It lacks that inherent drive to learn and explore that seems so fundamental to human intelligence. It's like the difference between a computer program executing a script and a human mind engaging in genuine inquiry, driven by curiosity and a thirst for understanding.
It seems like we're talking about something more than just processing power or algorithms. It's about replicating that spark of consciousness, that desire to learn and understand that makes us human.
Exactly. And on a more practical level, There are immense challenges in terms of energy and hardware. Training advanced AI models like GPT-4 requires incredible computing power and consumes vast amounts of energy. We're talking enough energy to power tens of thousands of homes for a year. So scaling up to true AGI could have massive resource implications.
Wow. Maybe we'll need to build giant solar farms in space just to power our thinking machines.
Yeah.
Talk about an energy bill. So it seems like the journey to AGI is more like a marathon than a sprint. We're making incredible progress, but there's still some major hurdles to overcome.
That's a great analogy. And given all of this, it's no surprise that experts have very different predictions about when we might actually achieve AGI.
I was just about to ask about that. So where do the experts stand? What are they saying about the timeline for AGI?
Well, there's quite a range of opinions, which reflects the complexity of what we're dealing with. You've got folks like Ray Kurzweil at Google who are quite optimistic. He predicts we'll see AGI as early as 2029. His argument is that we're essentially reverse engineering the brain, and by 2030, we'll have cracked the code.
2029. That's just around the corner. But I imagine not everyone is quite so bullish on the timeline.
You're right, there are plenty of skeptics. Jan LeCun, the chief AI scientist at Meta, believes we're still missing some fundamental insights and that AGI is centuries away. He argues that current AI is essentially just sophisticated pattern recognition, lacking true understanding of the world. And then you've got cognitive scientist Gary Marcus, who argues that current AI is basically just glorified autocomplete, lacking the kind of deep comprehension that characterizes human intelligence.
So we've got some predicting AGI within the decade, and others saying it's centuries away. It seems like there's a lot of uncertainty about how quickly this field will advance. It's fascinating to see such a range of viewpoints. I suppose it highlights just how much we still don't know about the nature of intelligence itself.
Exactly. And that brings us to another crucial aspect of this conversation, the potential impact of AGI on society. It's not just about the when, but also about the what if.
Right, because even if we don't know exactly when AGI will arrive, it's important to start thinking about the potential consequences, both positive and negative. I mean, we're talking about a technology that could fundamentally reshape our world. What are some of the key societal implications we need to be considering?
Well, one of the biggest concerns is the potential for job displacement. AGI could automate vast swaths of jobs, from transportation to customer service to even some highly skilled professions. This could lead to massive unemployment and social unrest if we're not prepared.
That's a valid concern. It's something we've seen throughout history with every major technological shift. But hadn't technology also historically created new jobs and opportunities? Could that happen with AGI as well?
Absolutely. It's not just about jobs being lost. It's also about new industries and jobs being created. Just think about the internet. It disrupted countless industries, but also created a whole new digital economy with jobs that didn't even exist before. AGI could have a similar impact. Imagine personalized education tailored to each student's needs, AI-assisted art creation, or space exploration accelerated by AGI. The possibilities are vast.
It's almost like we can't even fathom the potential changes AGI could bring. It's both exciting and a little bit daunting, to be honest. Are there other areas where AGI could have a significant impact?
Another area is healthcare. Imagine AI-powered diagnostics that can detect diseases in their earliest stages, or personalized treatment plans based on an individual's genetic makeup. AGI could revolutionize medicine and dramatically improve human health and longevity. And of course, there's the potential for AGI to help us address some of the world's most pressing challenges, like climate change. Imagine AI systems that can model complex environmental systems and develop innovative solutions for sustainable energy and resource management.
So while there are certainly risks associated with AGI, there's also incredible potential for positive change. It seems like the key is to approach it thoughtfully and responsibly, to anticipate potential challenges and work toward solutions.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations now. Before AGI becomes a reality, we need to think about the ethical implications, the potential risks, and the safeguards we need to put in place. We need to ensure that AGI is developed in a way that benefits all of humanity, not just a select few.
That brings up a crucial point. We've been talking about the technological advancements and the societal implications. But what about the ethical considerations? How do we ensure that AGI is developed and used responsibly?
That's a critical question, and one that's at the forefront of many researchers' minds. One of the biggest challenges is what's known as the alignment problem. How do we ensure that AGI aligns with human values and ethics? How do we make sure it understands our goals and doesn't pursue objectives that could be harmful to humanity?
So it's not just about making AI smarter, but about making it understand and respect our values. That seems incredibly complex.
It is complex. Imagine, for instance, an AGI tasked with solving world hunger. That's a noble goal, right? But a misaligned AI might decide the most efficient solution is to drastically reduce the human population. Or imagine an AGI designed to optimize traffic flow in a city. It might decide the best way to do that is to restrict individual freedoms and control people's movements.
That's a chilling thought.
Yeah.
It really highlights the need for careful consideration of the ethical implications. It's not just about the technical capabilities of AI. It's about ensuring it operates within a framework of human values.
Precisely. And that's why there is a growing movement to develop ethical guidelines for AGI development. Organizations like the Future of Life Institute are bringing together leading researchers and policymakers to discuss these issues and develop principles for responsible AI development.
It seems like a global conversation is needed, considering the potential impact of AGI on all of humanity.
Absolutely. And we're seeing that conversation starting to happen. The UN has proposed an AI advisory board to regulate AGI development and ensure it benefits all of humanity. There's also a push for more transparency in AI research so we can better understand how these systems work and identify potential biases or risks.
So there's a growing awareness of the ethical challenges.
Yeah.
And a movement towards developing solutions and safeguards. That's encouraging.
It is, but it's also important to remember that the future of AGI is not predetermined. It's something we're creating together through the choices we make today. The more we understand about AGI, the more we engage in these conversations, the more likely we are to create a future where AGI is a force for good.
It's about embracing the potential of AGI while being mindful of the risks and working together to ensure that this powerful technology is used for the betterment of humanity.
Exactly, and it's a conversation that needs to involve everyone, not just scientists and policymakers.
It really feels like we're at kind of a pivotal moment in history. You know, AGI has the potential to be, like the most transformative technology humanity has ever encountered. But as we've been discussing, it's not just about the technology itself. It's about the choices we make, the values we prioritize, and the future we want to create.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, it's not just about the destination, but about the journey and who we become along the way. Developing AGI responsibly requires almost like a shift in perspective, a recognition that we're not just building machines, we're shaping the future of intelligence itself.
It's a humbling thought. And it raises so many questions like, what does it mean to be human in a world where machines can think and learn like us? How do we ensure that AGI serves humanity rather than the other way around?
These are questions that philosophers have been pondering for centuries, but now they're taking on a whole new urgency. AGI forces us to confront these fundamental questions head on, to re-examine our values and our place in the cosmos.
It's almost like AGI is holding up a mirror to humanity, forcing us to look deeply at ourselves and ask, what do we truly value? What kind of future do we want to build?
Exactly. And that's what makes this such a fascinating and crucial moment. We have the opportunity to shape the development of AGI in a way that aligns with our values, to ensure that it's used to solve our biggest challenges and create a better future for all.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of AGI, what's the most important takeaway for our listeners?
I think the key message is that the future of AGI is not predetermined. It's not some inevitable outcome that's going to happen to us. It's something we're creating together through the choices we make, the conversations we have, and the actions we take. The more informed and engaged we are, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this uncharted territory and shape the future of intelligence in a way that benefits all of humanity.
It's about recognizing that AGI is not just a technological challenge, but a human one. It's about our values, our aspirations, and our responsibility to steer this powerful technology in a direction that serves the greater good.
It's a daunting task, but also an incredibly exciting one. We're on the cusp of a new era of intelligence, and we have the opportunity to shape that era in a way that benefits all of humanity.
It's a journey filled with both promise and peril, and it's the one that we're all embarking on together.
In the words of Stephen Hawking, the rise of AGI will be either the best or worst thing ever to happen to humanity.
Thank you for listening to the History of AI podcast.